welcome to West Bloomfield 911. I'm Officer Rick, and on behalf of Chief Mike Patton and my brothers and sisters in the West Bloomfield Police Department, we're glad you tuned in. As always, to my right is my friend, my co-host, and my colleague, Officer David McNealy. How are you, Dave?
Hey, good morning.
You know what? You lucked out, buddy. I'm going to tell you that. You lucked out big time. I've been nagging you about failing to stop to bring donuts to the show.
I got hooked up today.
Today, the donuts came to you.
How about that?
You were so lucky.
How about that?
Man, oh man. They won't have to make license plates today.
Or rocks.
Or rocks, that's right. And to my left is our very esteemed guest and someone I've been looking forward to having on, and you'll understand why. We have Ryno, and he is the president of Cops and Donuts.
That's right.
Ryno?
Good. Welcome. Thank you.
Hey.
Yes.
We're supposed to say welcome to you.
I say welcome to everybody.
Yeah, I know.
You know. Now that I'm off the road, I'm welcoming everybody. So
there you go.
It's just programmed in.
That's right. Especially all the shows you guys have done.
Exactly. Right.
Folks, you can't make this up. A retired cop selling donuts. It doesn't get any better than that. But before we talk to Ryno, we're going to do a corner spotlight. And David is going to tell you all about one of our new officers.
Okay, this one is actually near and dear to me because this is one of our afternoon guys. Our corner spotlight this morning is going to be about, it's going to be with Kevin Shafto. Take a look at your screen, guys. Kevin's been with the department now for approximately 5 months. Kevin, like I said, is on the afternoon shift, so he's one of my guys. I work with him all the time. He's based out of our administrative unit, and his actual title is called PSA with us at the department. Kevin started with us in April of this year. I asked Kevin, or we asked Kevin, what were some of his favorite foods, and to my surprise, I thought it would be pizza because we've had others that said they like pizza a lot. His favorite food is chicken cordon bleu. So his favorite book is The War of the Worlds, and that was written by H.G. Wells in 1895 through 1897. One of his favorite movies is the movie The Mask, which was kind of a funny comedy, action comedy, starring Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz. His favorite music, I think Rick's going to have an issue with this one, alternative rock. We'll talk about that later, Kevin. Some of his hobbies, which I think is very cool. Kevin was an Eagle Scout, and one of our other officers, Jim Gary, his son was an Eagle Scout, and working with him in the past, I know that's quite an accomplishment to be an Eagle Scout. Kevin also likes kayaking, fishing, and riding dirt bikes. And some other trivia my great partner to my left discovered for me is that President Ford was also an Eagle Scout.
The only president.
Pretty cool stuff. Kevin's favorite quote was, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And Rick and I were just talking about this morning. There's a country singer named Aaron Tippin who has that song, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. So, Kevin, I love your quote. Also, Peter Marshall in May 27th of 1902 established that quote, and he was also a chaplain for the United States Senate. So we're going to turn off the spotlight on Kevin this morning, and I'm going to turn it back over to Rick.
Thank you, David. And I think David didn't explain for folks that may not know, Kevin is a PSA, and for us that's a police service aide. They used to be called cadets, but now they have a nice fancy title. So Kevin's a good kid. Hopefully he has a good career with us. Folks, we also have a safety tip of the day before we come back to our guest. And I get a lot of calls in crime prevention from people that are being scammed in a variety of ways. And we've talked about the IRS. Another one are fake fundraisers. And sometimes they're not even fake fundraisers. They're legitimate in the sense that they may be registered with the state, but a huge portion of the money that they're collecting, up to sometimes 90% or better, is going to wages and administrative costs rather than to the goal of the fundraiser itself. And some of them will claim to be for police or fire. In fact, Attorney General Schuette just shut down one not long ago that was collecting money for fire departments, and way too much of their money was going towards administration and wages and not to the fundraiser itself. So if someone calls you and says they want to take your money for a worthy cause, check it out before you say yes. You can call the Better Business Bureau, call the Attorney General's office, see if there's been any complaints against them. You can ask them for more information that they should send to you, indicating how much money they're actually putting towards their cause. And there are organizations that check a lot of these fundraising groups, and they'll give you a rating as to what they think about them, whether they're actually supporting somebody or just lining their own pockets. So just because somebody says, listen, help us, it's a worthy cause, you need to do due diligence and find out if in fact it really is. If you have any questions, certainly you can give the police department a call. Give me a call on crime prevention and I'll be glad to help you out. We're going to take a break, and while you are waiting for us to come back, I think we're going to start tapping into some of these Cops and Donuts delights. So don't hurry back because we want to eat some of these.
You're watching West Bloomfield 911 on Civic Center TV, a service of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission. For more information or to watch episodes on demand, visit civiccentertv.com/WB911. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
After the tragic loss of an officer in the line of duty, Michigan Concerns of Police Survivors provide support to surviving law enforcement families and co-workers. To learn more about My Cops and upcoming events, or for information on how you can help, visit micops.org or call 877-464-2677.
Hello, and we are back, and you know what? You're going to have to be careful and watch us as we partake. In fact, Greg, you can leave because we have your donuts now.
Okay, yeah, that's all you wanted, right?
Yeah, that's all we wanted, just delivery.
I think he's a former
I've been
cop.
treated.
He might-
I've been treated like
Yeah,
that
I'll
before.
bet you
so.
have. David, help yourself to one. You've got to here. I'm telling
Did you notice the weight of that box?
I know it. I
Yeah.
hurt my arm. I had shoulder surgery, and I
I'll
think I
take
just
this one.
hurt myself
Yeah.
again.
I'll start
You know-
with this one.
I'm telling you, these look so good. Ryno, come here. You got. Let me move that.
Watch your cough.
Yeah, that's good,
You go
guys.
ahead and dig in. I've eaten my fair share of them, so I might have a donut hole there
Oh,
with you
my
guys.
gosh, yeah, please.
You know.
Happy days.
Cheers.
Happy days.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Real cops and real donuts.
That's
it.
right.
Good stuff, guys.
Pumpkin
You know what?
spice. It's that time of year.
Which one's this? Blueberry?
That's blueberry, and you've got a plain there that's cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, man.
Yep. And up home,
We
these
got
are only
coffee.
available on Thursdays.
Oh, really?
Donut hole Thursday. It's
Oh,
huge.
man.
Yeah, it's huge.
I tell you, with the coffee.
My son would love these.
No, your son can't have any.
Uh,
You know what? I'm going into a diabetic coma here. You're so good.
yeah.
We'll be sleeping by the end of the show,
Oh,
right?
boy, you're not kidding. Well, we're going to have to put these aside because we're going to forget you're even here. And we're going to talk a little bit about how you got started.
Sure.
Now, people may not really realize that, in fact, you were a police officer. And in fact, you've been a police officer so long that blue is going to be in your blood for the rest of
Exactly.
your life.
Grew up around it, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, because you've been around it your whole life, even as a kid.
That's right. 53 years old today. Born and raised in Clare, Michigan. My brother started out in law enforcement. Two of my brothers as reserve officers at the Clare City Police. I was just a kid. That was back in '74. 1979 came along. I was 16 years old, and we had a police cadet program there, Explorer Scouts. Jumped into that, and then in 1982, when I was old enough, then I went into the actual reserve program. From that, I stayed a reserve from '82 up through '86. I had switched over to the Sheriff Department to get a little different taste, and then I got hired at the Clare County Sheriff Department in 1988. Wow. I worked all the jobs up through that, Marine officers where I started out, court officer, dispatch. I dispatched for 8 years. Finally got certified, got out on the road, and then in 1999 I was a road sergeant, and the opportunity came to go down to Clare City, which is my hometown. And I'd had, about 15 years or so and had a taste of the county, and we run pretty busy out in the county. The city is a little more comfortable. So I chose to go back to the city. And then in 2009, the opportunity for the bakery came up, continued working as a cop, as president of our companies. And then when I turned 50, the city offered an early buyout. And with my time at the county and at the city, we're all MERS. And it worked out perfect for me. So I jumped out in March of 13, and now I'm full-time donuts.
I like how you say that. And people are probably going to get mad because I always joke with people. And people obviously like to make fun of cops with donuts.
Sure.
So now we have just reinforced the myth.
Exactly.
And but I always tell them,
But it's
I
a
say,
good myth.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes.
right.
Very good myth.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, I say, look, This is West Bloomfield. We don't eat donuts. We eat bagels.
Yeah,
So-
there you go. Yeah. Did you know that a bagel is worse for you than just a raised egg glazed ring?
Is it really?
Yeah,
I
there's
was going to ask you if you had any.
yeah.
Facts
We
on
do
that
have some
stuff.
facts, and they've done some food studies. The raised ring, that's nice, light, airy, and fluffy with the
Right.
glaze on
Yes.
it. You're better to eat one of those than a bagel. A bagel has 3 servings of starch in it, which starch turns to sugar.
Right.
You may as well enjoy the sugar and get less of it and have a donut,
Okay, now
Or
how
two.
about,
or 2. Yeah.
or 3?
Yeah, and we tell people they're not good for you. We use all the good stuff, no preservatives. We got real sugar, butter. They're not
Real-
good.
real
Walk a mile
bacon.
for every donut we don't want to see every day.
Real bacon.
Real bacon, yeah.
Yeah.
Those bacon squealers.
man.
We have better bacon on that than some of our restaurants in the area serve for breakfast.
I don't doubt it. I stopped into your place one day coming back from up north, and I saw the bacon one there. And I've heard of them, but had never gotten one
I
the
see them
place
on
we
the
go
Food
to.
Network
Yeah.
all the time, and I'm like, oh, that looks good.
And one of your employees said, "Oh, you'll really like that." She said, "You take that, put it in the microwave for a few seconds. It's just like eating French toast." I have to take her word for it because I ate it on the way home. I never
And it was
made
still even good cold,
It
wasn't
tasted good
Yeah.
cold.
Yep. That's what they speak about us the most, about the bacon squealer.
Yeah.
But like our slogan, who knows pork better than us?
That's
I love it. I love it.
well. Remember, what does
right.
PIG stand for? That was a very famous term for us back then.
Back years ago, yeah.
And
yeah.
what does it stand for? You remember, don't you?
Pride, integrity, and guts is one of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's the one that I knew it for.
Yeah, that's one I knew too,
It's good.
yeah.
But when we first started this, we got a little kickback from some of the cops, because we were so fresh. But
Right.
now that the word's out and they see it's tongue in cheek and they see how much we're donating back in all the communities and everything like that, so it's all fun and games, and it's all for a good cause.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, I think it's a great thing. And you guys, your career and mine kind of parallel each other in some ways. We both started out in Brown, you with Clare County Sheriff, me with the Wayne County Sheriff. You did dispatching. I did dispatching when I was a railroad police officer. They had police doing the dispatching. So, and you make donuts and I eat them. So we have a lot of parallels in our career.
We are truly brothers.
Absolutely, absolutely. But what I found interesting when I was looking at what you guys have done, and we'll talk a little bit. You have numerous locations now, or would you call them substations, precincts?
Well, we have headquarters where we started out, and we call them precincts.
Precincts. And the original headquarters in Clare, there's actually, 9 officers that did it?
Yeah, it was the entire Clare City Police Department that had a full-time check.
Wow.
Yep.
And all 9 are still involved
Yep.
with Cops and Donuts, and 2 of them are still working full-time.
No, 7 are still
7
working
are
full-time.
still working
Yep,
full-time.
just myself and
What
Al White.
agents-
We call
they're
her
all
Bubba.
with Clare?
Well, they're not now, but we were all at the time. Midge was the chief at the time. He's now the undersheriff of Clare County.
Okay.
One of the guys went out to another department, a couple of them, But of the 9, 5 of them are still working full-time for Clare City.
Okay, very good.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
And they all have their hand into the Cops
Sure.
and Donuts business, all helping out in their own way.
Right, yeah. Yep. Myself and Bubba, we're the 2 that's retired, so we're hustling all the time and doing, we're go, go, go.
Right.
But they come and help out with
But you
special
guys linked
events.
up, and now you're taking care of each other. So that's kind of the way we do
Right.
anyway as officers. We take care of each other. You guys have all linked up.
Oh, it's
and
been a great team, yeah.
That's
Yep.
excellent.
Yeah, and it goes to show how solid cops are, because when we started this, we were told by the business community that 9 partners will not get along and it would fail. But it goes to show you how strong the cops really are, because the 9 of us get along great. They trust us to run it, because I'm the president and
Right.
Bubba's the vice president. They trust us, and you know how the trust is amongst us brothers in blue.
That's it.
And that's why it works. And we're showing the community and we're showing others that we can do a business and we can make it survive and get along.
That's
and,
excellent.
Yep, so we're actually doing better than the business community.
Yeah, you guys are a standard for others to look at.
And that is true, and we've
Yeah.
been featured across the country.
Now, you guys all have different nicknames. You, of course, go by the name Ryno, and the vice president, Alan, goes by Bubba.
Sure.
And there's a bunch of other ones here, Junior, Midge, Grasshopper. How did these guys get their names?
Most of them came along, like mine, Ryno is from my last name, Rainerson, and a lot of the Rainersons, my brothers, cousins, uncles, and stuff have been Ryno. Midge, his last name is Midjanowski. It came from that. Junior for Rich was a family given name. Grasshopper for Dave Sod, so kind of the one I think is the oddest, because he gave that to himself and he really likes it,
himself a
and
name.
I just can't figure it out. Yeah, so yeah, Grasshopper, but that's okay.
Right, absolutely.
Beaver, leave it to Beaver. He's just a boy face back years ago. He started in EMS and he got the nickname Beaver, and it just stuck with him. So
Excellent.
Dogman is Brian Gregory. A lot of people recognize his name. He owns Northern Michigan Canine Training,
okay.
and he trains dogs all over the country. And that's where Dog Man came from. Bulldog was a Marine, and so
Makes sense,
yep.
right. Well, that's great. Now let's talk about some of the places. Your headquarters is in Clare, and if people are interested, before we go any further, why don't you give your website?
Sure, it's copsdoughnuts.com.
Okay, and also, how about a phone number?
Yep, 989-386-2241 for Clare.
Okay.
But we're revamping the website right now. Just remember copsdoughnuts.com, and there's several different formations of that. We've got a lot of different domains, but we push just the copsdoughnuts.com. Go there, and it'll take you right to all of our 5 locations.
Do you guys cater events and things like that?
We do all sorts of things. We have catered police weddings with bringing donuts and doing them up in the colors. Anything you can imagine, we've almost done so far. We've done funerals, we've done weddings, just everything, family reunions, wedding cakes out of certain locations, and yeah, it's just crazy.
Well, let's talk about the 7 locations that you do have.
Yeah,
Where
5
are the
locations.
5 locations. Where are the other precincts?
Yep, we started out in Clare, that's headquarters, and in Clare is our largest. We've got a large apparel and souvenir side, and we have the traffic stop diner that does all good home cooking food, and Clare is the only one that has a diner. Last September, we opened up a precinct called Jay's Precinct inside of the Jay's Sporting Goods in Gaylord. They opened a new 95,000 square foot superstore
How
up
did you
there.
guys start that relationship?
Jeff Poet's the president, and went to high school with him.
Okay.
Clare, it was the Clare connection.
Okay.
And to be honest, it's a 90-mile trek taking those donuts up every day. If it had not been local people and a local family and business like that, we probably wouldn't have done it, but it's been very successful for us.
Excellent.
And it's been a great connection. They are just super to be our tenants, and we draw back and forth. It's great. We get buses, and they've got plenty of room for buses up there. We get lots of buses in Clare. But we opened that in September. Then over the winter, we were coming in, we just finished 7 full years in July, and we've had continued growth like you wouldn't believe in Clare. And we've purchased 3 buildings, and now this summer a 4th, and we just running out of room to produce. So we had to decide whether we were going to do a commercial kitchen or what we were going to do. Well, our model in Clare of rescuing the bakery that was closing worked out perfect, and they're closing bakeries across the country, just crazy. And so we chose to rescue other bakeries. So in May, we rescued McDonald's Bakery in Ludington, Michigan, and now that's called Cops and Donuts McDonald's Precinct. We're right near the Badger, and that's worked out well.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yep.
I've taken that ship across a couple of times.
Sure, yep. So we've taken that over, and then in the 3rd week of June, we reopened the Sutherland Bakery in Bay City. That would have been open 104 years, but it closed. So we reopened that. So now we say that we're coast to coast in Michigan, because US 10 goes all the way across. Bay City's on the east side, Ludington, and Clare in the middle. And then while we were doing that, we thought that might be all we'd do this year. We came across the Danny Maid Bake Shop in downtown South Bend, Indiana, where Mr. Hab suddenly passed away. All the employees lost their jobs. It had to be closed. So we were down there about a month after he passed away, worked out a deal, and we just opened that in August.
So you're national now.
We're even out of state.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
And that was another learning curve for a cop of doing
Employing
business.
local people.
Oh yeah,
You were
all
able to
local
get some of those
people.
employees back?
Yep, we got some of the originals back,
Oh, that's
which
excellent,
was
too.
really good.
Yeah.
Down in South Bend, they were known for their TV bars and French pastries, and we hired a gal back by the name of Dora that does all those, and she's making more than she ever did before now.
I'll bet. That's
good.
We swing the door a little bit more than it used to.
Now, which one is the closest to Michigan or to Detroit area? The one in Clare?
Probably Bay City, straight up
Oh, Bay
75.
City, that's right,
Yeah,
okay.
and it's a smaller bakery, but all these other
Heading out
ones
today?
make their product. So
You heading out today?
yeah,
No, I have these. I don't have to go out today.
and these products are all from headquarters in Clare.
But you will have to head out today because I'm taking
You're taking those
these.
home?
If you eat all those today, you're going to have a sick belly.
Oh, you know what? I'd probably be dead. Of course, my wife will cash that check. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's another story. I don't know why she keeps saying, have another donut.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Now, how far do you go to cater? I mean, if someone around here wanted to cater, is this too far for you guys?
For just something routine, but if it's something really unique, or we've been down here and done, there's a new kids supporting the police that had started up, and we were just down here, I believe, in Dearborn.
Oh, okay.
We have so many things going on now that I can't even keep up with all of
Right,
them.
right.
Like today, I'm here with you, and I've got the chief actually covering a tour bus that's arriving in Clare for lunch at the Traffic Stop Diner. Bubba's off to Hawaii pushing our lard party, and we've got our own little gimmick for president and celebrating. And then one of our employees that's really good with public relations is covering the event in Saginaw today, the one where it was a state trooper and a local officer.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's an event fundraiser today for that. And we've got one of our PR girls actually covering that because there's just so many things going on. We can't get cops to cover
That's
it
a
all.
great problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't
Great
it?
problem
Yeah,
to have.
yeah.
And you know, and when you go on the freeways, I mean, I've seen your signs in so many places now, and I mean, I just think it's wonderful, and I love to see people succeed. It doesn't matter what field they're in, but especially my brothers and sisters in blue.
Sure.
We have a lot of our own issues, so you know, because of the nature of the job, and that. So it's great to see guys that
This is a true
are
success
successful.
story.
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's been a great ride.
Yeah.
It's still going.
It's just going and going and
Yes.
going.
Well, let's talk a little bit about if people have not been to your place in Clare, which I've been there a couple of times. You've really got not only, and you mentioned, not only do you have the bakery, but you have the little restaurant. And I did not eat at the restaurant there.
Okay.
I wanted to make room for the donuts. But you also have a nice little gift shop there.
Yes, yep, with all our souvenirs and gifts. We've got apparel, hoodies,
Are
t-shirts.
you planning to do that, having your store side and all other precincts?
Yeah, we're limited on space,
Okay.
but all the other locations, they've got t-shirts in there, and we're theming them right at that. So you go to any of them and it says Jay's Precinct
'Cause I
on
can
it.
see that, like anywhere you want to go, you're gonna like, hey man, I got to get a shirt and I got to get a hat or something. It's,
Sure.
it's really cool.
Yep, and we have that, and they're all tailored for each of the precincts. So collect all 5. And we've got a Back the Blue line that's doing really well right now. You know how the times go.
Sure.
We did the Back the Blue event at the state capitol.
Yeah.
And we were accepted really well there. It was real good. A lot of brothers and sisters in law enforcement
Right,
were out.
right.
And
Yeah, I wasn't able to make it to that because in Fenton they had a blue mass that day,
Yeah.
so I
yeah,
spoke at that.
there were so many events right around
Yeah.
that because
Yeah.
with September 11th,
Right.
we actually were split up. And we had Dave Sod Grasshopper covering Lansing. We had McGraw covering Midland. I was covering South Bend. The chief was covering Clare. The under sheriff, Midge, he covered Harrison. We were all scattered out
Oh,
because
yeah.
all these events going on
Right,
for September
right.
11th, and
Yeah.
then the Back the Blue stuff going on.
Right, a lot of stuff happening. And I know I've been up to your place, and one thing a lot of people may not realize, you have a ton of police patches from all over the country.
All over the world.
Yeah,
now.
all over the world, yeah,
Over
absolutely.
3,000 of them now.
And you have more patches than you have room to display them, at least in
Almost.
that one store.
Yeah, yeah, we're really putting them up everywhere.
Yes,
Wow.
and I, you know, I don't think I have one with me. I wish I had brought it, but they have you guys have your own patch, the Cops and Donuts patch.
yep.
And if a guy sends you a patch,
We'll send them one
you'll
of ours.
send them
Yep.
one.
Mhm.
And
That's cool.
yeah, and
Yep.
one of our West Bloomfield patches was already there.
Right.
So I sent you a former agency I worked with, Conrail. I sent you a couple of patches, and you were kind enough to send a couple to me. So
Yep, yep.
know,
And that's what we do. We keep track of whether we have them because
Right.
Oakland County's got so many retired deputies. We'd go broke if we swapped with them.
Yes.
But so if we have one from the agency, you can still leave it if you'd like, but we really don't need it. We're only
Right.
going to display one.
Right.
If we don't have it from your agency, then we'll do the swap.
Right,
So,
right.
yep.
So I saw a bunch like even from Wayne County, my first agency, and of course
Sure.
West Bloomfield. But I think it's so cool.
Yep.
And next time I go, my wife said, "Well, you know, you have to take me." I say, "Yeah, we'll go up there." So
Yeah, it's fun. We got the photo ops in there too for the kids and the families.
Yeah.
You can take your mug shots. So far, we've got those set up in Clare, Bay City, and Ludington, and up in Gaylord. We've still got to get it set up in South Bend.
So besides store side, you guys have like little fun stuff like that.
Yeah,
Touristy
can take,
type things.
Yeah, yeah. We have tourists come from all over the world. Clare is only a population of 3,100. Our expressways have a lot of traffic, and this will be the 3rd consecutive year that we've had over 500,000 people in the year go through our location in
oh
Clare.
my gosh.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite thing on the menu?
On the
rest-
donut menu or on the restaurant?
Restaurant.
Over on the restaurant right now, we're doing a Cuban sandwich that I just love.
Really?
Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's close to a traditional Cuban sandwich. It's got the salami on it and the pulled pork and the spicy mustard, and they press it and the pickle on it and everything. And I forget which cheese they put on it.
Okay.
But it's not probably a real Cuban, but it's our style of a Cuban, and it's really good. 2 of the things that we're most known for is we roast all of our own pork shoulders there and pull them, and we have a pulled pork that we serve naked,
Okay.
meaning there's no sauce on it. Most everywhere around us, they soak it and marinate all the time.
Great. I'm glad you
And,
clarified that for this guy.
For this guy here, yeah. Yep, so we serve that naked, and then we have Sweet Baby Ray's, and then we also have a sauce of my own called a Ryno sauce, and that's a mustard-based barbecue sauce with a kick, and we're working on that, getting that co-package, so pretty soon you'll have it in a grocery store near you.
Oh, excellent.
Yep, and then the other thing we're really known for is the Reuben sandwich with the Irish twist eclair and all that stuff. We roast off our own corned beefs, and we hand pull it. There's no turkey meat, and there's no slicing it thin like some of them. We actually pull the corned beef, and we make a double up Reuben, we call it.
Making me hungry now.
Did you bring the Cuban with you?
I didn't. No, I brought donuts. I probably should have brought lunch.
Next
too.
show, the next show.
Yeah.
Every time I fail somehow.
You know,
The next show.
for a little while.
Yeah, there
when
you go.
get done.
I could run back
Yeah,
and- yeah.
absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. I think that's fair. Don't
Okay,
you?
sure. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, right. Now, how do you guys determine what you're going to sell in your gift shop? I mean, obviously you got to keep rotating it because you want to keep it fresh.
Right. Yep.
And how do you decide what you're going to put in the gift shop?
The slogans come up. We have our owners' meetings at least quarterly throughout the year, and sometimes we'll have some special ones. But the guys are around all the time too. We'll have customer suggestions. A guy will come up with something, and we just kind of beat it around real quick and we jump on it. We're a multi-million-dollar business now, but so many go into these executive meetings and, you know, they're going to study this and study that. Well, we're cops. We handle things in 20 seconds, right?
Right.
So we'll sit around a coffee table, and if it's a slogan we like, I'll order it right then. We'll have it that weekend. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, we get rid of it.
There you go. Well, Ryno, we got about 30 seconds. Why don't you got 30 seconds to sell coffee and donuts, tell the people something special about it you'd like them to know or to remind them about so they can come out to any of your headquarters or precinct locations.
Sure. The biggest thing to remember is they're real donuts. We make them from scratch. There's no preservatives. All of our breads, pies, cakes, no preservatives. So we're making real donuts. We're real cops. And we have our full line of coffee. We've got Cops Coffee. We've got a morning shift, midnight shift, and off-duty decaf. Done by Paramount Coffee right here in Michigan. We do as much local business as we can. If we can't get it local, then we'll start working out. And of course, we have to have some China cups and stuff like
That's
that.
right.
But our apparel is 90% made in the United States.
Well, folks, if you ever get a chance, stop and see Ryno and all the other fellas at Cops and Donuts. And don't forget to go to their website, which is, again,
CopsDonuts.com.
there we go. Ryno, we're going to honor a fallen officer, something near and dear to all of us here, so stay with us. Folks, if you look on your screen, you will see Court Officer Ronald Kinzel of the Berrien County Trial Court, who was killed in the line of duty on July 11th, 2016. Court Officer Kinzel and Security Supervisor Joe Zangaro, who we remembered on a previous program, were shot and killed inside the Berrien County Courthouse by an inmate who was attempting to escape. Court officer and a Berrien County Sheriff's deputy were in the process of removing the prisoner from a holding cell in a corridor behind the courtroom when the man attacked them. He was able to disarm one of the officers and open fire, striking them both. The man escaped into a public hallway when he also shot a civilian. Officers exchanged shots with the prisoner. 2 other officers were struck, and then he was killed by return gunfire. This guy was a real piece of cake, no pun intended, Ryno.
Exactly.
He was an inmate in court for 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, assault with a dangerous weapon, and domestic assault. So, you know, the guy was a piece of work. Officer Kinzel was a true American hero. He had served the Berrien County Trial Court for 10 years, and he had retired from the Benton Township Police Department, and he was also a veteran of the United States Army. So to this great American hero, Court Officer Ronald Kinzel of the Berrien County Trial Court, we say, rest in peace, brother. Your name will never be forgotten. And folks, please pray for him, the other officers at the Berrien County Trial Court, and Officer Kinzel's family. Folks, we thank you for tuning in. We want to remind you that you can watch us at Civic Center TV. You can also catch us on the internet at civiccentertv.com, and you can go to YouTube, just type in West Bloomfield 911, you get to see all of our shows. Also, keep in touch with us in the police department. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and if you really want to know what's happening, sign up for Nixle and Crime Mapping, and you can learn all about what's happening in your community. I want to thank my co-host, David McNealy. Dave, good job, buddy.
I got my
Thanks for
name
coming.
back. I'm David today.
You're David
Called me
today.
Donald a couple shows ago.
For now. You'll be something else later on. And of course, always an officer in blue, even though he's retired. Ryno,
Thank
President
you.
of
Thank you.
Cops
Yep.
Donuts.
Great to meet you.
Yes,
Ryno,
thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for yours as well, because you served in blue for a long time, and you will always be a brother in blue.
Continued
even when
success to
you're
all you guys. I think it's fantastic. Let your
Thank you.
partners know,
Yeah.
and thanks
Yep.
for their service also.
Yeah.
We've been truly blessed. Thank you.
And we'll stop and see you up there in Clare.
It's a great spot to stop.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Folks, thanks again for watching. Remember to take care of each other, be safe, and love one another. Tomorrow is promised to no one. I'm Officer Rick, and we'll see you again on West Bloomfield 911.